Welcome to Simply Living It. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. I want to share a bit of a travel vlog with you guys, and I'll put some footage in here and there where I can. I just recently got back from a trip to North Carolina. We flew across the entire United States. First of all, I've never flown across the United States. This was my second time flying. And the big kicker with this one is my husband was not going and my children were not going. We decided to plan a trip to North Carolina back before COVID hit. This was like a dream for our prayer group. One of the beautiful mamas in this group lives in North Carolina. So we had always talked and dreamed about taking this trip, us girls meeting together, going to her for once. Instead of her coming here to meet family, like we wanna go to her, we wanna travel to her. This seemed like something that was a dream, you know, that you talk about with your friends, but the reality of it actually happening, like it takes a God-sized miracle for this to happen. If you're a mom, if you're a homemaker, if you're a homeschool mom, a working mom, whatever, like you know how much it takes to plan and orchestrate the opportunity for you to leave and your home to still run and to function and all the things. And we planned the trip years ago when COVID very first hit. We were supposed to be going to North Carolina in April, and then COVID happened, flights got canceled, we had to cancel our trip. However, fast forward 3 years later to September 2023, we finally got to take this trip that we long awaited. And on my end, it was pretty iffy leading up to the trip because we've had a lot of different things going on in our home, a lot of health things. My husband actually had to have knee surgery. So all kinds of things that were taking us down to the wire of whether this was actually a smart and wise decision for me to be flying, whether this was something that was going to be doable for our family, given everything that we've been walking through for the last several months. Well, it happened. God is so faithful and so good, and I was able to go with some of my favorite people in the entire world. I was able to go to travel to North Carolina, a place I had never seen and never honestly was on my radar. Like I never really thought that this would be a thing. And it was a thing, and it was incredible. And we laughed way too much about all the silly things. We had some incredible food. We learned all kinds of things about each other because when you're with each other, when you're with your friends, you can't help but learn and grow and strengthen as a group. When you're doing life together 24/7 for 5 to 6 days, right? Like it's only natural that you're going to learn more about each other, and it's only natural that you are going to strengthen that relationship and that bond. This was truly an incredible, incredible gift to me. Memories were made that I will never forget. We actually had one house booked for North Carolina. It was I think it was Airbnb. I can't remember if we did Airbnb or VRBO. Either way, that doesn't matter. But this specific place had just changed owners right like 4 days before we were showing up to enter this home. There were a lot of hiccups and a lot of things that ended up in a series of unfortunate events, and we ended up having to find a new place. Staying in this specific place for the remainder of our trip was not an option. We were done. It was time to find a new place. We ended up at the very last minute finding a different place down the road that happened to be open. So we spent one night in the first home. The second morning, we were able to pack up all of our stuff, go out to Bojangles for breakfast, which is a place I'd never heard of, but you hear talked about. And we had Bojangles for breakfast. We actually took some of it out on the beach and enjoyed that on the beach. We truly had an incredible, incredible time. The second home that we were able to book and stay at was incredible. Communication between the homeowner and us was beautiful. It was very smooth. She was very helpful. We're very grateful for that. We were able to book this beautiful home very last minute. Like everything just kind of went haywire, and we were able to book this beautiful home very last minute, like literally the day of, and get in it that afternoon to stay and enjoy the rest of our trip. This home was a beautiful place to spend the duration. It was big enough to house all of us ladies, and there were plenty of bathrooms so that we were all able to get ready for the day. Plenty of room to breathe, plenty of beds. It was clean. It was clean. Beautiful addition to our trip that we didn't even know was going to take place. And after a few hiccups, it worked out beautifully. We were right on the beach, just like before. We had multiple decks that we could enjoy. Perfect beach access right to a beautiful place that we spent pretty much the duration of our trip. We spent so much time sitting on the beach, just relaxing. Friends, sisters, talking about God, talking about our homes, talking about our homeschools, talking about motherhood and marriage and all the different stages of life that we go through. 5 of us girls are in very different stages of motherhood and different seasons of motherhood. Some have grandbabies and kids that are married off and moving out of the home, to the newly teenage years, like navigating those teenage years, down to pregnancy. And it's beautiful. This group of women is truly beautiful, and I'm so grateful for every single one of them and this time. We didn't do anything crazy and extravagant and elaborate. We spent about every single day on the beach, enjoying the beach, the beauty, the sun, the salt water, the simple, slow life. It was beautiful. It was perfect. I took so many books that I thought in my mind, it makes sense, right, that I'm going to be reading, and I'm going to be enjoying my Bible reading on the porch with a cup of coffee with the ocean view and all these things that were my expectations in my head. But the reality of what this trip was so much more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. It is a new game I discovered with these girls. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. Pretty stinking hilarious. It's pretty fun. I did to get that game and play it with my boys and my husband, but I have come back feeling so refreshed. So refreshed. This was a trip that truly revived me, my soul, everything. I am so ready, so much more ready than ever to be home and to do this well, to spend this time homeschooling my boys and homeschool them well, and to love on them and to be intentional with them. Like, there's so much that we mamas shared, so much wisdom poured over every single one of us, and just a truly refreshing feeling in my heart and soul, truly refreshing vision. True friendship is, what that looks like, what a gift true friendship is, and how so very blessed I feel to get to do life with these women. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but we're all part of a prayer group together. Our walk with the Lord has looked very different in each of our lives, and coming together and talking about that and reliving different moments and different stages. And I do not have near the words to explain and to describe how good it feels to be home, but how grateful I am for this experience. It was incredible. Conversation in the airports was beautiful. The conversation on the airplane rides was beautiful. The conversation on the beach, in the beach house, in bed as we're all winding down and giggling. The conversations at our friend Rachel's house while we were trying to wind down, and we all just would get the giggles at different times, and we could not stop laughing. It was incredible. There are so many moments and memories, from suitcases breaking at the airport and popping open and everything falling out, the things we saw, the things we experienced, the things we talked about on the car rides, like all of it. It's such a gift to me that's so ingrained in my memory, and I will not forget. I'm so grateful for the time that we got to go and spend together, and I just encourage you to take that trip. Do it. Make it happen. Set aside time to invest and to pour into your friendships, into the women in your life, into yourself. And this isn't about the mommy, like, self-care stuff. That's not where I'm going with this. This was something that was a dream that I didn't really know if it was going to actually get to be a reality. And I'm so grateful to God that this was able to happen. He is so good. He is so faithful. And I am forever grateful for this opportunity, because truly I am home now, a changed woman in so many ways. I feel so good and so ready to love my family so much deeper, and in so many ways that my eyes have been opened to in areas that maybe I didn't see, that I've learned and gained through wisdom of these other women who have poured into me. Like, it's just been truly incredible. And the things we saw, the things we experienced, the boogie boarding on the beach, I've never felt warm ocean water. Like, something so simple as that, to be on the beach and actually want to get in the water. That's a foreign thing to me. Usually we're the Oregon coast and it's so cold and windy. Yes, it's beautiful and incredible and amazing and all I've ever known. However, being able to go and actually get in the ocean and swim and do the boogie boarding and just be present and enjoy that and not be freezing to death was incredible. The humidity is amazing. My hair was so happy. My skin was so happy. Everything about me was thriving in that environment, even on less sleep. Like, I could go on and on about all the incredible things, but this is just my message to you as a mom, knee deep in all things motherhood, and as a homemaker, as a homeschool mom, coming here to say, yes, September was not prime for our life. It wasn't prime time. We're in the middle of homeschooling. We're in the middle of hunting season. We're in the middle of co-op. So many things, not only health issues and surgeries and all the things that could have kept me from getting to go on this trip. But God was so good and so faithful and allowed this to still happen. And my heart and soul is forever grateful. And my life has been changed for the better because of it. Deep down inside, our friendships have been changed forever because of it. So I encourage you to take that trip, to take that time. I have never in 37 years of my life ever done something so crazy. Never been outside of the surrounding states. And even that is minimal. Like I said, this was my second time ever in an airplane. And I'm so grateful and so ready to travel. I can't wait to hopefully get to take my husband and our children to explore and experience what I was able to explore and experience. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do this. This trip meant so much to me and I am forever grateful. And I love to get to share a little piece of it with you all. This trip was truly a gift and truly a blessing from God. And I'm forever thankful. And I thank you for being here. Thank you so much for letting me share a little piece of this trip with you, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.